Good day, students. Welcome to our lesson for today. Now, in today's lesson, we will be talking about Microsoft Excel. All right, so currently, what you see on the screen is that I've already opened Microsoft Excel. All right, and for those that do not know how to open Microsoft Excel, it's just a matter of coming to your search area box right there. Once you click on it, you can therefore type EX. The moment that you even type EX or Excel in full, you'll see that the application will pop up somewhere here. So once it pops up there, it's a matter of you double clicking on it and it will open right away. So what you all currently see on the screen, this is a blank workbook, meaning that it does not have any design theme or template and so on. But if you want a certain template of something that you want to use in Microsoft Excel, it's just a matter of you going to File, and once you go there, you go to New. And by going to New, it will give you different templates that you can choose. Okay, what do I mean by different templates? Let me say that your boss asks you to work on a budget, all right, and you perhaps do not know how to design a budget using Microsoft Excel. You can mainly just come here and look for budget. Once you see it, you double click on it and it will search for all different budget templates that you can find from the internet. Now remember, for you to do this activity of searching, you need to make sure that you should be connected to the internet. Okay, so now what you see here, you're able to see all these beautiful different templates that were already designed of budgets and so on. Okay, so what you can see, if you see the one that best fits you, you can just mainly click on it and then you come here and download it. Okay, or maybe your boss asks you to work on a certain invoice and you do not know how to design an invoice, or you do not know how to come up with a beautiful template or theme of a certain invoice. So you just come here again and look for invoices, you double click on it and it will search for all different invoice templates. Like here they are. So I have different invoices templates, and if you see the one that you like the most, it's just a matter of you clicking on it, and once you click on it, it will be previewed here, and if you like it, you mainly go ahead and download it. Okay, so in that regard, I don't want to download anything, so I'll definitely stop that. So we are back to our blank workbook. Okay, now one thing that you also need to understand is that Microsoft Excel is mainly made up of different worksheets. Okay, so these are worksheets, and this whole here is your workbook. That's why it's called book one. So your workbook is made up of different worksheets. Okay, so this is your sheet one, sheet two, sheet three, and you can also add another one just by clicking right here. If you click right there, you'll see you have sheet 4. If you click right there, you'll see that you have sheet 5. Okay, so what are the uses of this sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and so on? Now, let me say that you always store maybe, how can I say, monthly expenses for the organization. All right, so you can save this workbook as monthly expenses. Okay, so you just go to File and you go to save it on my desktop. Okay, I click on desktop and then I save it as monthly expenses. All right, so once I rename it monthly expenses, it will be right here. And then each monthly, meaning every month, I must have an expenses worksheet that shows how much we have spent it, and I believe you know what I'm talking about. Now, rather than you having different workbooks like January, February, March, April, and you end up having 12 workbooks, so you wouldn't want that. Okay, so you can actually put all the months in one workbook. All right, so you just divide it by these sheets. Now for you to rename it, you can double click on it and then you just type January. Okay, another way of renaming a sheet, you just right click on it and go to rename, and this one should be February, and then you just move on until you have all the months. Okay, March, April, and then we have May. So we are currently in May. For you to add another one, you just click on Insert Worksheet, right click to rename, and then you type in June. Okay, now for you to delete is very simple. You just go to June, you right click on it. This time around, you go to delete. So now you can see that it's actually much more easier if you only have one workbook and then you have all the months in one workbook. So you have your January data there, your February data there, your March data, your April, your May, and so on. Okay. All right, so another thing that you also need to know is that Microsoft Excel is mainly made up of columns and rows. So these are your columns. Okay, now the columns are represented by the letters, and then the rows are mainly represented by the numbers. Okay, so it's made out of columns as well as rows. Okay, and the columns are represented by the letters and the numbers are represented by the rows. The columns are represented by the letters. The rows, yes, are represented by the numbers. Okay, so that should make sense now. Okay, so right here we have name box. Now you need to know that the worksheet contains different cells. So these are all cells that you see here. These small boxes here, they are called cells. But all these cells also have names. So if I click in this cell right here, you'll see that the name of this cell is called D3. So this is called D3. So all the cells here, they all have names, okay? Now for you to read a cell, obviously you need to start with the letter followed by the number. So where they intersect, that's the name of the cell. If I click right here, I'll start with the letter G, and then they should be in row 2. So this is G2. Okay, and you can also see it's written G2 in the name box. If I click right there, I'll start with D. It's in column D in row 7. So that's D7. And if you look at the name box here, it's also saying D7. Okay, so we also have a formula bar. So this is where you can also type in your formula if you have to. All right, and also text. Okay, if you have to, and so on. All right, so Microsoft Excel it is also made up of a ribbon. All right, that's the same ribbon as the one that we spoke to in PowerPoint, and we have the home tab right here, which contain of the clipboard, font, alignment, number, style, cells, editing. We have insert tab, page layout, formulas, data, review, and view. Okay, so basically you will get to know about all these features as when we start doing calculations or drawing charts and so on, and formatting our tables and everything that we'll be working on. So we will be using some of these features. So the only thing that you need to know is, for example, if I say go to alignment, then you should know that alignment, you find it inside the home tab. Okay, or if I ask you maybe to go to charts, then you should know by default that you find charts inside the insert tab. Okay, or if I say go to sheet options, then you should also know that you find your sheet options inside page layout and so on. So you need to also know all this right here. Okay. Right, so another thing that we also have is our customized quick access toolbar, which is right here. So the access toolbar is what you see right here. So so far we have the save, we have the redo, and the undo. So if I click here, you'll see you have save, undo, and redo. And for you to add another feature, you just click on it, and you'll see that it will appear here on the access toolbar. Now the access toolbar mainly contain features that you use mostly. All right, that maybe if you always prepare worksheets and you have to email them right away to your boss, then you can maybe have this one, already open. It's just a matter of clicking on it, and it will give you the options to email and so on. Okay, now another thing that you also need to look at is maybe how to hide columns. Now, the columns can be hidden, okay? Like, let me say if you want to hide B, it's just a matter of you. I mean, of course, sometimes you work on something and the moment you go out for lunch, somebody will want to look at your stuffs and so on. So sometimes you can hide the columns that you were working on. It's just a matter of coming on top here, right click, and then hide. If you hide, you'll see that the column disappear. Okay, and after lunch, once you come back, you can actually unhide it. All right, by coming here, you need to come in the middle. Now here's the trick. If you come in the middle between A and C and get across like this, and you right click and unhide, it will not come back at all. All right, you need to make sure that you go in the middle and then you get a cross that has two lines. All right, can you see that they're different? This one has a single line, this one has double line. Single line, double line. If you get the one with double line, you right click on it and then you go to unhide. You'll see that B will be back right away. And another thing that maybe that we'll look at is when you type words, all right, long words, and you see that it has bypassed cell A2, all right, look at it, it went until E. So to do that, you just come between A and B, or between the columns that are next to each other, and for this one you use one single cross, and then you double click on it, and then it will actually expand the size of the cell. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so I'll basically just erase this, and I want it to come back to normal. So again, I'll just double click on it, and it should take it back to the normal size. Okay, if it didn't, so you just resize it there. All right, so you can maybe resize it, or you can double click. I mean, it's all up to you, but double clicking is mostly the best option ever. Okay, so what else? All right, so far, okay, we also have the zoom option right here. So this is just to zoom in and to zoom out. If you can see something clear, you can, zoom out and zoom in and all that. Okay, and this is your scroll bar. There's another one here. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically it for today's lesson. In our next lesson, we will be doing some few activities, calculations, now learning about different calculations and formatting and so on. All right, so having said that, guys, enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.